My name is Vishal Kumar Gupta, and I am a co-author of the book 75 Amazing Indians, published by Vitasta Publishing. Amazing Indians is the theme of my book. And at first glance, that may seem like a strange theme for a whole book. When I think about why we decided to write that book, it is obvious to me and to my co-author that there was a dearth of books about Indians who were doing incredible things. Now, don't get me wrong. When I say there was a dearth of books, that does not mean there was a dearth of people who were doing incredible things. There were many, many Indians who were doing amazing things. That's why we called it Amazing Indians. But they were not getting the attention that they should have gotten in our media, in our society, and in our public discourse. Every year, the government of India honors Indians from different walks of life who've made incredible contributions to society. And yet, few people know about them. This was the spark that got my co-author Vishal Gupta and I to think about writing this book focusing on amazing Indians. Now, you might ask, why 75? The 75 came from the fact that we started the book in the 75th year of Indian independence, or more accurately, we wanted to launch the book, we wanted to bring it to market to coincide with the 75th year of Indian independence. However, as often happens with such kind of books, we got delayed. It took us way longer to research about these people. It took us way longer to write about these people than we had expected. And so the book came out, I think, about 2 years later than 75 years of Indian independence. Yet, we kept the theme to 75 amazing Indians. We divide those 75 amazing Indians into 10 categories to coincide or to reflect, to capture the categories of the Padma awardees, from sports to arts, from science and technology to civil services. And that was how we organized these 75 amazing Indians. We talk about Kiran Mazumdar Shaw, and we talk about Ratan Tata. We talk about Simon Orion, and we talk about Jadav Payang. People from different states of India, people reflecting the diversity of India. Now, I started by saying that although there are so many incredible Indians doing incredible things, nobody is really talking about them. Yes, we talk about them once a year when the Padma Awards come out, but then the conversation stops. Our newspapers don't talk about them. Pick up any newspaper in India and you will find that there's a lot of negative news coverage, a lot of coverage about things not going well, rarely enough coverage about things going well. Walk into any classroom in India and you will seldom see them talking about Indian role models, positive Indian icons. And that was what we wanted to address in this book. We wanted to give people who wanted to read about positive things, positive people, positive icons, a resource that they could take with them on the plane and read as their time allows. These short biographies that we talk about in the book, that we discuss in the book, are not intended to be detailed biographies. They are intended by design to be short, meaning you might step into a plane, or you might step into a train, or perhaps even a bus. You read 2 stories and you put it aside, and then you come back to it in your trip and you read 2 more or 3 more. That was the flavor in which we wanted to write this book. Now, I said we talk about Indians from sort of a wide range of domains. One domain we did not write about, and you will probably see why, is politicians. When we talked about this book to different people, when we talked about this book to potential readers, when we talked about this book with other professors who work with us, we realized that one of the things Indians don't want to read about, at least not much, is politicians. Yes, it is true that Padma Awards are often given to politicians. Our politicians also receive these Padma Awards. But what we found is that few Indians wanted to read about politicians. Now, this is sort of a paradox. Are there politicians who may be doing amazing things, perhaps? Are there politicians who've achieved incredible success? Certainly. And yet, it seems that politicians are not really the kind of people that most Indians want to emulate. When we talked to our colleagues, we realized they wanted to read about successful business people, successful civil servants, successful social workers, successful artists and craftsmen. And those are the people we focus this book on. This focus on short, highly curated biographies, deeply researched through primary and secondary sources, is what makes this book unique. A number of people have commented about how biography is not really a respected tradition in India. Again, that may come as a surprise to some of you who perhaps like to read biographies or have maybe even written some biographies. But the truth is, biographies, deeply researched, written from a neutral perspective, from someone who is not directly vested with the person they are covering, are not a well respected genre in Indian books, and to be honest, even in Indian media. Think movies, think TV shows. So we decided to take this challenge heads on. Once we took this challenge, we realized there were several obstacles in our way. The main obstacle being that we don't have a good tradition, culture of collecting reliable information about these people. So we researched, we read books written about people, we read books written about incidents, we read newspaper articles, we read, we went to where we could, we tried to interview people, and all those insights we wrote, we brought together to bear into this book. Now, one of the interesting things is each of these people have led such incredible lives that you could write whole books about them. You could write 40,000, 50,000, 60,000, 80,000 words about each of these people. And yet, because we were dealing with 75 people in one book, we could only write about 1,000 to 1,200 to 1,500 words about each person. So, frankly, what made into the book is a very small part of what these people actually did and contributed. Think of someone like Sudarshan Patnaik, the famous sand artist from Orissa. His humble beginnings, his global success. The distance between those two, the humble beginnings to global success, that journey is long. That journey is full of twists and turns. That journey is full of grit and coincidences and luck and perseverance and setbacks and failures. There was no way we could capture a journey like that fully in 1,000 words. And yet, we tried. We tried to give the reader a flavor of who Sudarshan Patnaik is and who the 74 other people are in those 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 words. What we are hoping is that after reading these short biographies, people will want to read more about these incredible people. They will want to read whole books about these incredible people. It was also tricky for us to come up with the title of the book. We played with a lot of titles, and in the end, we zeroed in on the simplest yet the most direct title possible: 75 Amazing Indians. Those three words summarize the whole book. About 75 people, each of them amazing, each of them Indian. Now, before you ask me, how did we shortlist 75 from so many wonderful people? Let me give you a brief sense of what we did. We looked at the list of Padma awardees over the last few years, and we decided to focus on people who are living in India. Padma Awards don't necessarily go to people who live in India. They might go to Indians who live overseas, and they might go to people who are from overseas. We decided to focus on only the people living in India for our book. We also started with another constraint, which is we wanted to focus only on the living people. One of the things that we realized as we were writing this book is as time passed, some of the people who were alive when we started writing the book, or at least when we conceived of the book, were no longer alive when the book finally came out. In some cases, people even passed away between the time we interviewed them and the time the book went to press. This itself to us underscores the importance of creating this living memory of Indians doing wonderful things. If we don't document them, if we don't collect these stories, they will pass into history and they will no longer be remembered. So, in a way, writing this book also helped us realize how important it is for us to document these stories truthfully and genuinely. Now, another thing that became very obvious to us was that these stories not only need to be read by Indians, they also need to be read by people outside India. Here's why. As India has become the fourth largest economy in the world, and as India tries to gain its rightful place as a Vishwaguru, a superpower, one of the leading countries in the world, it also needs to offer the world Indian heroes and icons who people around the world can look up to. And that became another goal of this book. Someone visiting India, someone coming to work in India, someone working in an embassy or a consulate of a foreign country in India, an Indian working overseas, an Indian working in the consulate or embassies in countries overseas, an Indian traveling overseas. We hope they will pick up this book to learn about the amazing work of people around them. Because let's be honest, in India, that is not always obvious. It has to be made obvious. Yes, successive governments have been giving the Padma Awards, but where are the stories about these Padma awardees in popular discourse? Our book offers one such option. Yet, we do not think of our book as the last word in this space. We hope that future writers will build on this book, write about more Padma awardees. We hope that directors, producers will make TV shows and films based on the work of these Padma awardees. We hope that the stories of these Padma awardees will go into our textbooks, into our classrooms. And we are pleased to inform you that there are colleges in India now that are using this book for their curriculum. But we need more of that. We need more people to engage with such positive role models so that we can truly, truly, truly learn about amazing Indians. Thank you.